Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars 1 here, and welcome to my next discussion video. For this series, as you probably well know, we talk about topics of my choice. Think of them almost like HS Media Nerd's quick thought videos, except they are potentially a lot longer. For this one, we are going to be looking at Death Note's ending. Because I have so much I want to talk about with this ending, and so much I want to say, that I really can't decide what I think of the ending, and I'm hoping this video will shed some light on the subject, or at least make others see my point of view. First up, back when I was doing the series on Hummingbird, I was making these comments with most of the episodes, but this is something I realized after a while. I wasn't sure what I thought of the ending once we got to it, and I asked this question. Was it worth it in the end, Light? This question is a question that at this very moment is haunting me because I don't know, was it worth it in the end? So we're going to take a deeper look into it. We're going to literally dissect the entire last episode of Death Note and possibly some of the other themes of the show as well. So we are going into major spoiler territory. So if you didn't go already, and this is your only warning, this is basically the spoiler warning. If you do not want to be spoiled to Death Note at all, do not watch any more of this video, because I am going to spoil this plot rotten. So with all those people out of the way, let's continue. First up, my first question I'd like to ask, what was accomplished in the end? Now, for those of you who don't know, Light dies in the very last episode. So, and he was Kira the entire time, practically controlling the world with an iron fist, using those people he judged as evil and executing them. Now, yes, the obvious thing would be like, oh, what was accomplished? Oh, you stopped Kira and free the world. Did you really free the world? Or another question is, did everyone want to be freed? Remember, there were tons of Kira cults by the near end, and several people begging them to be Kira's spokesperson. That's not them asking for the freedom from Kira, that's asking them to be subjugated by him. I don't understand. Now, I can understand why they wanted to make it like this, because what he was doing was morally wrong and morally repulsive. Light is not a good character, not at all. I've said before, I hate him. But what did killing him really accomplish? It stopped the murders, but did it stop the people that were begging him or worshipped him? Did his death change the world really? Or in the end, did he really change the world? Because from what we're implying, the world would just go back to the way it was before Kira showed up. That's at least what I'm getting through the ending. Meaning everything we went through in this anime could have been potentially pointless in the very end. Except for the fact thousands died in the anime. So in the end, I like to ask the question again, what was accomplished in the end? Now I have my next question I'd like to bring up. Was the ending satisfying? Were you guys happy with how this anime ended? Was everybody happy that Light died, or thought, yeah, you deserve it, you jackass? the honest truth is, yeah. The fact that Light died, and the fact that he is, at the moment, one of my most hated anime characters, was oh so satisfying to see him crumble. That was one of the most satisfying, destructive things I've ever seen, and one of the ones that was the most deserving of it. Oh, you have no idea. But at the same time, something was nagging me too. And this was especially after I watched Light's downfall. Was the ending hollow and empty? Don't forget, guys, Light crumbles beneath you and is shown off to be just a sniveling little child who just complained that he didn't get his way and basically showed how pathetic he really is without the Death Note. Is that really satisfying to see? The Kira that subjugated the world be brought down to a shriveling little child? Or is in the end that just a hollow, empty victory? Also, how many people had to die to stop him? His own father had to die to stop him. L had to die to stop him. Thousands had to die to stop him. Really, it's like, yeah, you won. Congratulations. Now you get a shit world. That's probably just going to go back to the way it was before. So think about that in a different way. It's very, very empty and hollow when you really think about it. And honestly, that's kind of how I feel at the ending. It's satisfying, but at the same time so hollow and empty. Now let's talk about Light's breakdown, because that's an interesting plot point right there. Light doesn't just break down, he crumbles faster than you could say, oops. Seriously, he went from the sophisticated, power-mad Kira to a sniveling child, all within the span of one episode. And I will admittedly say I quite enjoyed seeing it. Probably a lot more than I should have, but seriously, this guy is an asshole. A major asshole. So watching his kingdom crumble around him was possibly one of the most satisfying things I think I've ever seen in any anime. At least for me. But I will also say the breakdown makes him quite pathetic and does give off that empty, hollow feeling. Like, this is really what he is. In the end, he wasn't a god. He wasn't even a demon. All he was a serial killer who yielded to the power of the Shinigami. And he's nothing more than a crazed serial killer. No more, no less. So honestly, Light's breakdown, in the end, seems satisfying at first, but once you really get back down to it, it really isn't that satisfying. Because you want to stop Kira, not this pathetic person who just snivels and begs for his way to have worked. That's not the person you wanted to stop. The person you wanted to stop was Kira. And who do you stop? Light. Another thing that really bugs me about the ending is the unknown fates or implied fates. Now, I know the manga delves deeper into this, and I think the manga does a much better job at this, but the anime very gives subtle hints here and there, but honestly, it's also having its own problems. It doesn't resolve fates like what happened to Sayu after getting back from Mello. We get a glimpse of it, but we don't see how the death of her brother affected her. We do not see how the death of Light Yagami's mother affected her because that's her son who died. We don't even know if she knows he was Kira. The last we see of her was when Soichiro died and she cries at an empty table. Further emphasizing the empty, hollow victory they got in the end. Because all that they did to the Yagami family was just rip them apart piece by piece. And what about the other guys? What about Nier? What about everyone else? Like, seriously, what about Ryuk? The last we see of Ryuk, he's writing down the names, but we don't know if he was killed off by doing that or not. He could still be roaming around free, happy to just do this all over again. Who's to stop him if that is the case? Further emphasizing the point, what was accomplished in the end? If Ryuk's still around, absolutely nothing, because he could do it again just because he's bored. Like, seriously, what the heck? And we never get his fate revealed at all. Guys, this is not a good ending plot point here. You're supposed to resolve things, not leave them further open. But enough on the Ryuk rant, because that might not matter too much in the end. It's just something that you gotta remember. Overall, I ask this question again. So, in the end, was it worth it? Was it worth watching 37 episodes of a show? Was it worth seeing some of your favorite characters die on the screen, or some of them break down? Watch a story that was magnificent at first start to crumble away. I say that it would be, but I really don't know. I don't know if it is worth it in the end. In the end, do you really think it's worth it? I'd really like to hear in the comments below what you guys thought of the ending, because I've now given pretty much my dissected version of the ending of Death Note. So comment below and tell me what you guys think. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1, and we'll see you guys next time.